This podcast is part of the Game and Entertainment Network. Visit tgenetwork.net to find the latest episodes from all our shows.
It's time for AggroChat, the official podcast of the Tales of the Agronaut blog and stalwart gaming community, where we talk about stuff and things, and the stuff about the things, and sometimes gaming. I'm Belgast, and let's start the show. Hey folks, it's that time again. Time for another episode of AggroChat. This is episode 112. And tonight I am joined by Ashgar.
Hello.
Grace.
Hello.
Kodra.
Hi.
Tam.
Hello.
And Thalen.
Hey there.
And the gang's all here.
It's been forever.
Yeah, like it feels like it's been forever since we've had a full roster for one reason or another. Tonight is the Game Club game where we talk about Chroma Squad. And Thalen, this is your pick, so
yes.
Why don't you preface it, the reason why you picked the game?
So basically, I was just kind of, looking for interesting games, and I specifically wanted to pick something newer this time since I picked a very old game last time around. And I was going through the Steam lists that it makes for you now one time, and this game popped up in it, and it caught my attention because it was a Super Sentai based game, and that was at least a little interesting. And I looked into it a little more and discovered that it was in fact a Super Sentai themed turn-based combat game, kind of grid-based combat, like Final Fantasy Tactics or something like that. And I'm all about something like that. And I figured at least some of you guys would also be. So there we go.
Cool. So I guess the real question is how far did everyone actually get?
I finished it.
I'm currently on season 4.
I finished season 1.
By the time we get around to talking about the plot, I will have finished the game.
Damn.
I finished it as of earlier today.
I stopped playing about halfway through season 2.
And for me, the big reason why I only finished season 1 is because I've been traveling and stressing out with other real life stuff for most of this month, and so I just didn't have time to play it until the last couple of days. And so I was trying to make myself play through it in big chunks and then getting burnt out, and I finally I was actually enjoying it. And I didn't want to play it until I completely burnt myself out, so I just stopped. And I think I will continue to play it after we record this podcast.
I definitely found that myself. I played it in little chunks throughout the month. And the game really, like the episodic nature, like the way the levels are structured, it really lends itself to playing it in little chunks over a longer period of time. And I definitely enjoyed it more playing it in little bits for longer or little bits over a longer period of time than playing longer sessions.
Yeah. I also mostly I'd sit down and play through a season in a sitting, and that was enough to be entertaining and interesting and not get me burnt out on it.
It just didn't click for me for whatever reason. So I wanted to make sure that I had played through at least a season, so that I could at all talk about the game. But I don't know, for whatever reason, it just didn't quite click with me. And I don't know. I mean, it was really cute and it was funny, and I feel like I'm just not his key demographic. I was a little old when Power Rangers came out, and I was never a big fan of combat as pantomime.
Yeah, that's
I really hate that kind of combat. It's like, oh god, this is just so cheesy. And it's sometimes fun to make fun of it being cheesy, but it's never really something I would ever want to watch. So Power Rangers, Kamen Rider, all of those type of shows just annoyed me. I
would say you're not the target audience.
No, I'm not his target audience. But that said, it was very charming. It's a well-crafted game, and they're definitely providing something interesting. It's just I'm not the target audience, because I honestly really don't like grid-based team combat either.
Yeah,
I like single players in turn-based grid combat, but I don't like trying to control a team in a grid.
Yeah.
And so like when we played Shadowrun, that was the exception to the rule, and I was into that because of the storyline, not because I enjoyed any of the combat.
I can see that. Yeah, this if you like neither Sentai shows nor tactics RPGs, it's gonna.
Then yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
like
basically the two things this has going for it.
I didn't force myself to play it past, about halfway through season 2, just because I felt like I played enough to get the game. I understand what it's doing. It's just not that enjoyable for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, like, I was enjoying it. I don't know, I never liked the Power Rangers when I was a kid. Like, I didn't get it. I mean, I loved, like, I don't know, like, Japanese, like, kaiju movies and, like, Ultraman and stuff, but I just never got the Power Rangers at all. And, slightly different genre that just didn't work for me. But the game I thought was cute and was having fun with, but I just didn't want to burn out on it.
Yeah.
And it does pull stuff from other things than just Power Rangers.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
So
yeah.
It really does.
So that helped, because Power Rangers is not like I was also a little old for Power Rangers. I'm much more into the stuff that kind of predated the Super Sentai, where stuff like the Japanese Spider-Man and Kamen Rider and things like that, which you can absolutely go off on a Kamen Rider path in this game. I believe that's what Ash ended up doing.
Wait, what?
Yeah, look, there's a choice point in this game, and there are 3 completely different season 5s.
Oh, interesting. I wonder where I'm going with this game then.
Yep, you basically have 3 options all around a character named Tammy.
Tammy? I don't think I've encountered her yet.
Yeah, you
will.
If you played season 4, you have. You probably just didn't register.
No, I see. I'm in the beginning of season 4.
Oh,
okay, you're about to encounter her then.
Yeah,
And you're about to meet her.
But yeah, so basically, depending on what decision you make related to Tammy, you either go in a Power Rangers, Tommy the Green Ranger sort of direction, a Kamen Rider direction, where you're, for the majority of Season 5, playing a single character, but they have an awesome motorcycle, or a Metal Rangers direction, where you end up working with the Space Police.
Yep, that sounds about like where this game is heading.
So, Space Police as in that first guy you encounter in Season 1?
Yes.
Okay.
That guy and his buddies.
Like, I tell you, I really enjoyed the little short part of the game where I got to be a giant mech beating up another guy. The mech mode stuff was kind of cool.
Which is hilarious to me, because when that happened, I was like, oh, this is bad. I don't like this.
It was annoying to me. I found it okay until it became more nuanced. Like, when I actually had to think about those fights, I liked them a lot more.
Yeah. Well, that, and once I stopped and took the time to look at the different options for each of the mech parts and saw basically the different ways you could build your mech depending on, how you were going to try and fight.
Yeah, like I immediately started blowing all of my crafting materials trying to build out the mech, and then went several episodes without using it again, and I'm like, no, I just wanted to use the mech. Like,
luckily, in later seasons, it's like the final part of any episode.
Single episode.
Just like
almost
Power
every
Rangers.
episode. Yeah. But yeah, like I ended up building the mech with as much hit chance increase as I could.
Yeah.
On the belief that getting my combo higher so that my finishing moves could be just absurd was the correct way to go, and that worked very
seemed
well.
to work out pretty well because I did the same thing.
Did you get the same sidearm boost that I did, which was the
Flurry?
3 punches?
Yes.
Flurry's amazing.
Flurry is so good.
I actually went with the other arm, the more power arm,
the attack power boost.
The attack power boost arm.
Mm-hmm.
I tried the flurry arm, and it was good, and it made it was nice for getting my my finishers to just be crazy huge. But the amount of bonus damage I was getting from my finishers versus the amount of damage I was getting from my regular hits I preferred the power arm, because I was regularly getting like my base hit chance, my starting hit chance was 132% after everything I had put into it. And so I was
at that point, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was at hit number 4 before I had a reasonable chance of missing.
I only got up to 116% hit chance. So
yeah, got up to about 120. For a while, I was using there's a pistol weapon that you can, I think it's one of the crafted ones, that boosts your mech's hit chance if somebody has it equipped. I think by 10%. But I eventually needed to replace it with
that explains some things.
Different weapon.
Wait, what was this? Because I have a pistol that does that. Right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah, it's pistol.
You can have more.
It stacks.
You have more than one of those.
Oh yeah.
So cool. when I discovered that my tech, so for listeners, the mech system, you build a combo by attacking over and over again, but every time you attack, you lose 10% of your chance to hit, and so you're sort of balancing how many hits do you think you can get in, and build your combo multiplier, which causes your regular hits and your special attacks to do more damage, before either consuming all of your combo with a special attack and finishing your turn, or missing, which also finishes your turn at no benefit.
And in some cases causes you to immediately take damage depending on what you're fighting.
Yeah. So yeah, when I realized that my tech was useless in combat, which FYI made one of my season 5 missions misery.
One of the things that I thought was so weird about the mech combat is, you guys remember me going off on how much I hated the quote-unquote minigame combat of Undertale? Mm-hmm. But for whatever reason, I liked blocking in this game. Maybe I'm just better at click the thing when it goes between the bars.
Yeah.
Than dance around the screen trying to avoid the thing.
It's funny to me.
Yeah, it was funny to me too. It's like, okay, this is exactly the thing that I railed on about Undertale, and suddenly in this game, I'm perfectly fine with it. Yeah, I can click this thing.
I haven't played a game that has legitimately made me laugh and smile as much as this one has in a long time.
This game's hilarious.
So many entertaining and lots of little things in the background and stuff too that made me snicker when I noticed them.
I really enjoyed the emails.
Yes, I love the emails. I love the tweets.
The tweets are wonderful.
At the end of every episode are amazing.
The tweets are great.
They just get better and better.
At one point near the, I want to say it's season 5, but basically, spoilers, about halfway through the game, you learn that this dude that came and totally helped you out with this super awesome audience booster is actually an honest and for real from outer space bad guy.
See?
And
do you
have and you have to fight real monsters.
How that all depends on how much you believe that this is actually a real thing and not just their meta plot gone off the rails.
Okay, so I was starting to get the feel of that.
Yeah.
As soon as I committed to getting that 15% audience boost, things seemed to go off the rails.
Yeah. Yep.
But
look,
so
this game gets weird real fast.
But in season 5, I got an email. There's different marketing groups that you can sign with. Well, in season 5, the marketing groups that you can sign with include basically Shield and organizations like that.
Yes.
And you get an email from, I want to say Dirk Anger, but that's from Next Way. But it's something Anger, who is the leader of Armor.
Yep.
Inviting you to the Revengers Initiative.
Yes.
And, that's great.
And even better, a few episodes later, I got a really salty email from somebody whose email address was ppark@dailybug.
Oh my god.
About how I got invited, about how Anger invited me to this thing, and and it's and he totally doesn't even need it. And yeah. So Spider-Man is totally salty that I get to be an Avenger and he doesn't.
Yeah.
That is so amazing.
It's amazing.
the game is really good.
Yeah, there's so many. It's also really like it's just like earnest and cheerful, and it's really fun. It's like it's fun and it's throwbacky and it's legitimately funny and it doesn't take itself too seriously.
And there's
Delightful.
like lots of different options in each system.
Yeah,
that
I
you can
really
pursue.
appreciated that. Like, just making my team and the types of options of different people that I could have be on my team was
Yeah.
just very pleasing to me.
I
So-
went
And none
with
of
the
them-
beaver for my lead.
You had the beaver.
The beaver,
So
who is
what was-
apparently from a previous game that they made for mobile phones.
Nice. I had an all-female team plus some monk guy.
I had so there's a like lanky redhead who's really only there to sort of attract fans and is kind of terrible otherwise. That was me. So I had that, and then I had like a female lead who resembles my wife a bit, and then I had a female assault and a female support, and then the monk guy as my scout. And boy, that's a good team.
That monk guy.
Monk guy
is
makes a
also my
pretty
scout.
great scout.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's a really good scout.
Really good scout.
But I love that there's that all these systems, there's all these different options, and none of them seemed to be bad options. Like I could see all of them being useful depending on how you're going to go about it. And
So-
also that in every system you have options that let you decide, okay, do I want to be better in combat, or do I want to be better at attracting fans and audience and stuff to be able to get more money and fans for the out of combat stuff?
Yeah. So I went with a team mostly just to see if it would work. There's some like characters that seemed more suited for particular roles. Like for example, there's the like blonde girl character, like
Yeah.
superstar character that when you look at her, she just screams, "Make her your support."
Which is what I did.
She's my lead.
Okay.
I intentionally like cast against type for every role, except the monk guy was my scout because I ran out of people I wanted to choose. But cast against type for basically every role, and what I wound up with was a team that was just incredibly flexible and badass.
Yeah, I was
So
about to
she
say.
would make a really, really stabby lead.
She was a super stabby
I
lead.
imagine
Yeah.
so, yeah.
My I rent the like kung fu the kung fu woman with the like distinctive fighting stance.
Mm-hmm.
She's my
Yeah.
support, which meant that my support could regularly one shot guys. So it was
Wait.
fun casting against type. Speaking of casting against, I was going to go very generic when I made my team and called them Sentai Squad because I wasn't feeling creative, but I mistyped it and didn't realize it until like an episode in. So I had Senpai Squad. And like I thought about restarting the game, but decided I didn't want to.
You can
I
change
was-
that at any time.
I know, but by the time I realized it, I decided I was just going to lean into it. So I know that a bunch of people had chromatize as their button at the bottom. Mine was notice me.
So, yeah, what did anyone else change their squad
I
like,
did.
theme?
Not
I changed-
significantly.
I changed every piece of it.
Mine were the kaiju kickers, and their robot was Gypsy Danger,
Yes.
and their whatever thing was Drift. Like, yeah, I yes.
Nice.
That's awesome. Yeah, I was Senpai Squad. The mecha is Super Senpai, and Super Senpai noticing the team is how they get their special costumes.
So I was just off of Origins when I started playing this game, and I had done a lot of Cthulhu LARPs. So I was the Knights of Azot, and the mecha was Dagon, and the like going into the mecha was Ia Dagon Fatagan. Because like, I was like, there is something very wrong with this. So if this is something very wrong, it might as well be like Lovecraftian wrong.
The implications of this are terribly disturbing.
So yes, like but this is a group of like Cthulhuoid cultists going around, but it's a show, right? Everything's just a show. This game's really
Maybe.
funny because it's like you're not sure how much of it's actually a show at the beginning, and then at the end you're like, they're like, haha, it's not actually a show. I'm like, well, is it though? Like, how do I know what's a show and what's not?
Like, I think the first episode that I got to where I was like, this is not a planned thing, and wait, is this real? Was I was going to court because
Yes.
my former director is suing us. The game starts with you, like, you go through a little tutorial, which is, doing a fight for this director, Dr. Soap. And at the end of the tutorial, the team is like, this guy's an ass and he sucks and we can make our own show and it'll be super awesome and we should go do that. And so eventually you get an email from Dr. Soap accusing you of stealing his ideas. And so you can either like pay him tribute or see him in court or make him your director. And of course I said, I'll see you in court. And so you end up getting an episode where you have to go to court. But on the way to court, you're in the street and like the devil appears with a briefcase. And you have to fight like lawyer Satan in the middle of the street.
That was the first fight I had where I lost a character.
Is that the one that when the episode is previewed, it's got like question mark on a silhouette?
There's
a
a
lot
lot
of
of
that
that.
after.
Oh, okay.
You get a lot of those, but if that may be the first one of them, yeah.
Yeah, because like
it's a silhouette with
that's
big
the
old
one I think I
horns,
was
yeah.
on.
Did anyone not say that they would see him in court?
No.
So if you make him your director, the game ends.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
Yeah, like
And
no,
entirely
I was so not going to pay tribute or make him director. It's court time.
I wonder what happens if you offer tribute.
I would assume just a permanent drain on your funds.
Ugh.
I may do that my next try.
Like, yeah, I kind of want to play this game again because it's really interesting and there's like a lot of options.
I really want to
really
play
wanna
one
see
of
the
the
other
other
endings.
season 5s.
I just met Tammy and now I'm really curious what's gonna happen. But I'm gonna go with this. This game's hilarious though. So they do have distinct arcs in the season too. Like season 1 is very much like we're low budget, we don't know what we're doing. Like, but it's super campy and like ends with, hey, now you have a mecha. And then season 2 is sort of very formulaic, and then season 3 is where things start going off the rails.
Season 3 is your lead is being an ass. Why does
Your
he keep
lead
being
is
an ass?
Yeah.
But I love the achievement for season 3.
Season 3 achievement is hilarious.
Which one is that?
For completing Season 3, you get an achievement called That Escalated Quickly.
Yo, yeah.
Because it absolutely did.
It really does. I love the terrible costumes at the start too. Like Punchbox.
Punchbox is awesome. I don't know what you're talking about.
It's amazing.
I'm kind of hoping that at some point there's a plot line that leads with your lead running off and doing anime voiceover work.
I did not encounter one like that. There is one where he's disappeared, where he's gone off to get food, and the rest of the team decides to go, record an episode while he's away.
There's so much weird like, hey, did you bring back any food?
That's the episode where you finally fight the random weird cyborg tiger that showed up out of nowhere at the beginning of an episode a couple of seasons ago, and looked around and was like, huh, okay, and left.
Yeah. Did anybody catch the paparazzi?
Yeah.
They're all over the place.
They're
yes.
all
They're
over the
everywhere.
place. When you were talking about the P. Parker, I actually thought you were talking about a different thing because I ran into a guy in a blue and red hoodie taking pictures.
Huh.
Like a nerdy looking kid in a blue and red hoodie as one of the randomly appearing paparazzi.
Yeah, I really liked them, and also like the random corgis just scattered throughout the game.
Yeah, I saw one of those and was like, well, that's
Why are there so
adorable
many
and
corgis
random.
in this game?
Corgis are awesome, so makes sense.
So I will say, like, as someone who is trying to get into this game in a rushed sort of way, that this game does a lot of things. Like, it has a lot of different little systems and things, and it's a little bit intimidating initially, of like trying to figure out all the different pieces that it's trying to do.
It's kind of like the between missions thing, and I mean, it's interesting to think whether this is intentional or not, but they really do like put a really hard break on playing this game. Like, there's a lot to do between every mission, and it's easy to get lost in doing stuff between the missions.
Yeah.
I actually have a bit of a criticism of the game there. The menus are not good
No, I
Yeah.
agree.
at all.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of different things to go through. Like, say I want to craft something. From that screen, I can't compare it to whatever anything anyone is wearing.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to go over to
And
your
then
stars.
if I don't equip it right when I craft it, then I need to go over the team screen, go over the equipment there, and then equip it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got annoying, and it would have been nice if there had been at least a little bit of tutorial attached to the between episodes stuff, because you get a pretty well complete fight tutorial at the beginning of the game. But as far as crafting and buying stuff and all of that, you're pretty much left to yourself. I was a little worried that I was going to make some wrong decisions and waste crafting stuff and so forth.
Waste your highly limited crafting stuff.
Because
Yeah.
Yeah, I was on season 3 before I realized the difference between purchased and crafted gear.
Mhm.
What is the difference between purchased and crafted gear?
Purchased gear has static stats, but they're very even. Crafted gear has usually slightly better stats, but they're random.
If the crafted gear has random properties.
Mhm.
Pretty much all of it does later.
Which most of it does, yeah.
Well, like,
Some pieces don't, like the boots that give you +2 move, or the gloves that give you +3 throw.
Yeah, or they're either random or they're ones that give you a unique benefit.
Yeah.
like all in the chest piece that just gives you 57 attack.
That is a trap.
What are you talking about? I'm putting it on my lead.
Okay, that's probably fair.
That's, yeah.
Like my lead is really tanky, but doesn't actually have the ability to do a lot of damage.
Well, you're about to change both of those things.
I mean, my lead might still be kind of tanky, but they'll definitely be doing a lot of damage.
Yeah. That's one thing that I really, really liked, is that I didn't feel like there were wrong choices. Like, as long as you're making... They're really good about showing... As long as you get to the point where you can do the comparison, they're really good about showing you how your stats are going up. And I feel like that gives you a lot of options to build, such that pretty much any item, even if it doesn't work for what you're trying to do, doesn't just not work at all.
Yeah. Well, and even with, the weapons, it's not just a straight, okay, this weapon hits harder than that one, so I should absolutely switch to it. That, that harder hitting weapon probably has a longer cooldown associated with it too. So would you prefer something that doesn't hit quite as hard, but you can use it every single turn? Or something that hits like a truck, but you can only use it like every 3?
I prefer the weapon that gives me plus attack.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
Something
I was
plus
also...
skill regen.
Yeah.
Skill regen is super useful.
And that was the thing, was I didn't actually use a lot of skills.
Oh, I use skills all the time.
I used skills...
Lead, tech, and support were all loaded up with skill regen.
Yeah, I used skills really sparingly, but to make like overwhelming plays. And so I mostly didn't need cool skill reduction, because when I was using a skill, I was like either ending or getting a dominant lead in a fight.
The Rider chapter also lends itself towards skill spamming, because that's you have a single character.
That would make sense. I really want to play. I'm actually probably going to play it again, even though I almost never play games more than once. I'm probably going to play it again just to see that chapter, because wow, that's such a different way to play the entire game.
Mm-hmm.
It really is.
So what did you guys think of the director stuff?
The director's instructions?
Yeah.
They were the thing that made fights actually a little complicated in a lot of cases.
I agree.
I really liked the resource mechanics in this game. Like, so you're putting on a show. you're trying to get audience. There's a bunch of different things that you can do to increase your audience score, and you have a max you can get, but that determines how much money you make, and that determines how many fans you have. And good ways of getting audience is to do various special things in the fight, or end fights in certain ways.
And often to drag the fight out a little longer than you might otherwise do, so you have more opportunity to do flashy stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and definitely never, ever, ever use your finishing move before it's the last move.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
You lose a lot of audience for using your finishing move too soon.
Yeah, no, they aren't okay with that. It just cheapens the move, right?
There's the answer to your question of why don't they start with the finishing move.
Sometimes you do. Every so often, there was one point where I forget how this happened, but I had a lot more offensive power than I thought I should, and I wound up in a early season 3 fight where my only 2 things were hit the boss every turn and kill the boss with a finishing move, and the boss started with finish him. And so that fight consisted of my lead walks up, hits form up, which by the way is my favorite skill in the entire game.
Form up is awesome.
Form up is so great. Hits form up, and then everybody's like, well, here we go.
Especially in the later episodes, there was a whole lot of the assault moves up a bit. The assault tosses the lead across the map because that's a thing the assault can do, and the lead hits form up.
Yep. Or the final boss.
Uh-huh.
God, that fight.
I
haven't
given my assault the ability to throw people really far. Mostly my assault just is my
people.
Reliably one-shots people.
Yeah. I didn't actually
good for that too.
I didn't do that many jumps with the assault because I was way too busy putting movement boots on my assault so they move as fast as my scout.
Yep.
And having the 2 of them run around destroying people. I thought a lot of the fights were clever without getting overly arcane. One thing this game does, as bad as it is at messaging in the studio sections, it messages what's going on in the fights so well. Here's some complicated stuff going on, but you know exactly what to expect. Dude drops a bunch of mines. Oh, don't stand near those.
Or destroy a bunch of them because that's what the director is telling you to do.
Yeah,
yep.
Well,
that too.
I always kind of thought it was weird that the director was telling us things, since I thought essentially we didn't have a director because we left.
It's not really clear. It might be the narrator. I also like the narrator. Although I was sad when the narrator got an upgrade.
And he stopped saying things?
For the first season and a half, your narrator is badly translated. It's a bad translation, and then it improves. I love the incredibly random cameos and blatant Kickstarter callouts.
Yes.
For some reason, that would normally annoy me so much, but somehow in this game it's so charming.
It's entirely appropriate.
It's 100% appropriate and super charming, as opposed to irritating.
The civilians who show up and introduce themselves by their full name. It's you're a Kickstarter backer, aren't you?
Yeah.
I think the thing that I liked the most just out of the gate was this definitely felt like somebody's labor of love. This is the game someone always wanted to create, and they went off and created it.
And it's good, and it's fun, and it makes me happy to play. And there's so many references in this that I'm certain I missed.
One that I really liked was in the very last fight, the final dude that you're fighting says, "Welcome to die," and the techie's like, "Don't make that joke. They'll think that the localization's bad." Because that is a reference to the old X-Men arcade game.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh,
I just feel like I did not know enough things to really know what all this was.
So many things. At one point, you fight Barney.
I don't know if I fought Barney.
Yeah, I fought Barney.
I think that was season 5.
You fight Barney in season 5?
Yeah,
I didn't fight Barney.
Yeah. but you fight a singing purple dinosaur. Except that when the purple dinosaur attacks you, it like drops the costume, and there's like a
lizard with a
creepier-looking
shotgun.
green. Yeah,
There's a lizard
not
with
a
a
guy in
shotgun
there.
inside the Barney suit that shoots you. It's incredibly weird, and I laughed a lot when I saw it. Also, the bear.
I also learned of a meme that I was not aware of until now.
The Collins
Bear?
Bear thing?
Colin's bear.
Wait, what?
Colin's bear.
I
I don't think I encountered this.
You
You
meet a
probably
bear.
encounter it in season 5, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, you meet a bear. It is a dancing bear.
Okay, then.
Google Colin's bear, and the first result should be know your meme,
Yeah.
and you'll see where this
it's
came
evidently
from.
like an animator meme.
Oh, okay.
It even uses the same music. Yeah.
And oh my god, that bear single-handedly made the first fight of episode 6 hell for
Oh
me.
god, that sucked. Well, because of the stupid rule. That fight
Yeah.
would have been a lot shorter if I wasn't trying to get all of the director's things.
Yeah, if I wasn't trying to
Which
hit,
rules particularly got you there?
have Tammy hit Lord Gaga 12 times.
I did not get that rule.
God, that rule.
Because she is not in my party.
Yep.
Yeah, good point.
She's got a sweet outfit then, though. No, not yet.
Yeah,
yeah,
after that.
It's after
No,
that.
she's still in her normal one at that. It's for the very last fight that she gets to turn into the White Ranger.
Yeah, that was really confusing for me because my lead was in a white suit.
I have 2 people in near identical suits in the final fight as well. That's just not like that. In the Rider Path, you do get a special guest for the final fight.
That's probably good.
Well, you get your cast back in once you beat season 5.
Oh, okay.
But season 5 was definitely interesting.
Yeah. All sorts of endings.
So, is this one of those games that you can continue playing after the official end?
No.
So,
But you can
no.
you can go back and go for the other story paths.
No,
Okay.
the narrator actually... So the post-credits is really, really funny.
Yes.
The post-credits goes on for quite a while, but one of the things that's mentioned is the devs want to make a New Game Plus mode.
Yeah. And maybe DLC.
Would you pay
$5 for new armor for your mecha? Okay, yeah, I wouldn't either, but I need to ask.
Wow.
It's just the narrator talking to you. It's really funny.
Well, like, there's an achievement for filming 100 episodes, so I didn't know if that was something you could do in a single playthrough or if that's multiple playthroughs.
It is specifically you would need 3 full playthroughs and 7 episodes, and I actually think that in 3 full playthroughs you would get 100.
Actually, yeah, because I got 35 episodes. I think maybe because I know what it is though. I started a playthrough and did something stupid and started over. So I have a couple extras from that.
I have 31 from a single full playthrough, but I've also seen one of the 3 endings. So I bet there's just about 100.
Yeah.
If you see all 3 endings. Complete the game with time travel and space trains. Complete the game with the Peacekeepers of the Universe. So I did not fail any episodes, but I did get the We Can Do This achievement.
What
Just
is
for what?
We Can Do This?
Defeat a kaiju with the help of your fans.
Oh, I got that in the very last mecha fight because there's no other way to win that one.
That's fair. I can see that. Because you get a second chance if you fail a mecha fight at the cost of some fans.
Yep.
Oh.
And in the very last mecha fight, you get knocked down. There is no other option. But like the entire world are your fans at this point.
Yeah, you got a lot of fans.
So you stand up and you are unbeatable.
So, did anyone else, insist on always leading off team attacks with the lead?
I did.
I usually did it with the support.
I actually got in the habit of doing it with my support.
I
Support
always
is last in the list, so it's the thing that tends to happen.
Well, but you can change the order of attacks whenever you want.
Yes.
So I would always attack last with the lead.
I also got in the habit of using weapon combos a lot.
Yeah.
So I would get the people that had melee weapons into position first and set them up. and then the people with ranged weapons. And since my support had, a bow, which is very long range, that's usually who I finished off with.
There are some really, really funny references and puns as I'm flipping through the achievements.
There are a ton of puns and references.
Yes.
Yeah. Get help from outer space. Achievement name, with all my heart. Like, I haven't even seen that show and I know what it's referencing.
I'm not familiar.
It's an Evangelion reference, isn't it?
I've never seen Ava.
I haven't either. But I don't. Also, getting fan favorite, activate all available marketing actions sounds like complete madness.
It's not.
Oh no, it's not all. It's not every single marketing action. It's just all of them for a particular marketer.
I got that on like my first one.
Oh, okay. I went with some really expensive marketing people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
For most of the game. Like, whoever was the most expensive is who I went with, almost always.
Once I had access to the toy one, I was using them for most of the game until I got access to armor. Yes, because they gave me bonuses to my mecha.
I used them for a few specific fights.
I guess I've had a lot of close call mechas, but I've never lost a mecha fight.
I never did, but I never felt like I needed any help in the normal fights. And I wanted the combo fever achievement for the mecha.
Yeah.
So I was boosting hit chance, and one of the marketing actions from that marketer, actually no, the default, the base, part of the base ability from that marketer is a boost to your mecha hit chance.
Yeah, I was trying to get every single one of the director goals, and I found that I would get myself in trouble a lot trying to chase those. But I went for every marketing firm that got me more fan conversion or money.
Yep.
That was what I went for super hard.
I went for more audience and then more things to do with audience.
I did feel like the crafting ingredients were a little unbalanced.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Collecting them, because like I needed tape for freaking everything. It seemed like I was always needing more tape.
Well, and you would end up with a bunch of something that you really couldn't use. Like, you had one or two patterns that used it.
I had masses and masses of paint that I didn't need. Like, there was nothing that I even could make.
That's interesting. I never had enough paint, and I always was overflowing with tape. P.S. If you can sign up for the Box of the Month Club or whatever it is.
I did sign up for it, and I never got anything from them.
So I signed up for it, and I got my first pack, and then every season I got another pack.
Oh.
Including season 5, where it gave me 5 alien cardboard. P.S. 5 alien cardboard plus all the tape I had equaled most awesome mecha.
Yeah. I mean, I managed to get my mecha completely upgraded. But yeah, I signed up for that on the assumption that I would be getting cardboard. And I never got anything from them.
Oh. Gypped you.
Yeah.
I recycled tons of stuff, and that's kind of how I was living off of for crafting purposes.
I think I got like 2 things from recycling ever.
I seem to get a lot of stuff from recycling. I'd get like 4 or 5 items per piece.
You can't see my surprised face, but
I mean, I recycled everything I wasn't using anymore, and I bought lots of crafting packs.
Wow, the tweets get just great.
The tweets are so good.
LOL, my little brother thinks Knights of Azot's for real. It says he saw a real monster down the road, Rafflecopter.
That's amazing.
I got a bunch of tweets shipping my characters together.
Yeah, I
really
did too.
like that.
And I lost fans because I was like, no, that's not. No. It's definitely the assault and the tech that are together. Or no, it's not the lead and the support. It's the assault and the support that are together. And it's like, I can't believe you don't know your own show that well.
Never get in the way of a ship.
Yep.
Yeah, I think the subject line on that email was like, "Does this ship sail?" No, I think it was "Which ship sails?"
Yes.
Because it was like somebody who was having a fight with their friend over which ship was correct.
Yes, that is accurate.
There was another one I liked was sub, sink, or swim. It's like some fan subbers from Japan wrote asking me if it was okay if they subbed our show.
I thought that was hilarious too. I got that one.
One of my friends who I recommended this game to, just played it, and he's like, okay, this game is really charming and fun.
It's very charming.
He's usually like super like downer. It's chipped through his cold stone heart.
Now, did you guys buy many packs of stuff?
Oh God, no.
The packs of crafting stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
bought stuff for my mecha eventually.
I bought a lot of cardboard because I wasn't getting it any other way.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of cardboard bitterly.
And I bought a good bit of tape. And then, like, at the very end, like, toward the end of Season 5 and the beginning of Season 6, I basically just spent all my money on the top tier crafting.
The mega materials,
pack.
Yeah, like, that's sort of where I'm at spending my money now.
Yeah, because I had everything that I wanted from the shop. Like, I had everybody set up with the best shop purchased weapon for them and some other stuff. And I just wanted to craft legendary helmets and suits for them all. They all needed buckets, legendary buckets.
Buckets.
The bucket helmets were the coolest looking.
I used to wear the bucket helmet when it came up at the start, so I didn't grab the legendary one either.
See, I got... What special weapon did you guys get? Or did you get any, like, of the special weapons from the males?
I got an enlarged sword, like after the very first episode. I got an enlarge your sword email, and I responded.
I got a best friend, which is a pretty sweet bow.
And I got that, and I used it for the majority of the show.
I got some kind of crazy sniper rifle.
I got those things at the end in Season 5, and they were useless to me then.
Wow. Yeah, I got the best friend in Season 1, and I used it until, like, Season 4.
Wow, yeah, that would be really strong.
I got the enlarge your sword email, like, super early.
Yeah, my lead was totally running around with the enlarged sword for, like, the first 2 seasons. But eventually I swapped everybody out to the mega weapon appropriate to their class. I also expressly equipped my scout with as much dodge as she could possibly have, because one of the tier 4 skills, or maybe, no, one of the tier 3 skill options. We haven't talked about, like, the talent system at all. There's, basically talents that unlock each season, and most of the time there's a choice between 2 or even maybe 3. One of the ones for scout at 3 is anytime you dodge, you automatically counterattack.
It's actually at 4.
It's
4. Is it 4? Okay. So I had my scout running around with 84% dodge. And I expressly had my scout run forward, because scouts are really good at that, into the middle of a bunch of dudes, so that they would all punch at her, whiff, and then get punched in the face.
Wow.
It was super effective.
That's awesome.
I had a very similar scout build, but only got up to like 76% dodge. Making matters worse is the fact that I was deprived of my scout for the entirety of Season 5.
Yeah, that would suck. I actually put as much skill refresh as I could on my assault, so that I could square house kick.
Square house kick, yes.
Square house kick is great.
As often as possible.
Square house kick is amazing.
I forget what the other thing is that's available instead of square house kick.
I couldn't tell you because square house kick.
Square house kick,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think it's a critical bonus.
Whatever it was, I didn't use it.
And honestly, my assault's critical was completely and totally irrelevant.
Yeah, like,
it's really true.
There was not a lot that I was actually needing to crit against with the assault.
Most of the time, if I crit, it was wasted.
Kind of hilarious overkill, though, critting for 500 some damage on an enemy that only has a max of 120 health.
Yeah. It was nice for turtles. Fucking turtles and rhinos.
Yes.
Turtles and rhinos are the worst.
Rhinos didn't bother me. Turtles were real annoying, though.
I mean, turtles go down pretty quick if you use team attacks, but it was always like, I don't like using those.
Yeah.
They hurt my action economy.
2 or 3 people, to take down one turtle. The frogs could be annoying, too.
I had no problem with the frogs. After, like, the first 2 or 3 missions they showed up in, I found them annoying.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I just did not leave things alive if there were any frogs in the field.
Yeah.
If you could manage to just take things down completely, then they're nothing at all. Mostly the problem was, there'd be a boss, and there'd be like 4 frogs. And if I was trying to get a finishing move on the boss, well, I need to knock him down low enough and then set up the finishing move the next turn. But oh, the frogs healed the boss back up. Or better yet, the stupid fish maid with her regeneration every single turn.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
annoying. Between charm and regeneration, I found her really, really annoying.
And
Yes.
I don't know what your director orders for that was, but mine was finish her with a finishing move, and that was misery.
Yes. Yeah, it was awful.
She also showed back up for me in the
In
Season
the
six
final
fight.
boss.
Gaga.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was like, "Nope, you are dying
You are
now.
going down
Yes.
immediately.
Yeah,
Wait,
The rest of
what's
you
this?
can wait."
so at the very end, in season 6 is one
the classic-
multi-part episode,
It's a
Okay.
classic thing.
and you're fighting Lord Gaga, and he starts summoning all the bosses that you fought before.
Oh.
And the
Including
first two
one
he summons.
That I
The
never
ones
fought.
that you may not have actually fought.
Yes,
Yeah.
including some that you may not have fought, but are really funny anyway.
Well, I looked it up. Apparently, the Iron boss was like removed from the game at the point that it was originally in, because I guess it was too difficult at the stage in the game that it was showing up, because it's a boss that runs the hell away from you, and you end up having to chase it all over the place,
Oh.
which is incredibly annoying when you don't yet have things like
Ridiculous
form up
movement.
and
Yeah.
the eagle lasso and stuff like that.
That wasn't the boss I was thinking of, but because you summoned Dr. Soap for me.
Oh
Same.
yeah,
I didn't fight
yeah.
any of
He
that.
did also summon Dr. Soap eventually.
Wait, I don't think I fought Dr. Soap.
I
No,
never did,
I never did.
but
I'm-
How
I
do you fight Dr. Soap?
I have no
I
idea, but I beat the crap out of him in the final.
That
I
sounds
didn't
satisfying.
because by the time
thought-
he summoned Dr. Soap, I was done with that fight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's ready to
that's
finish
fair. That fight went a lot longer than it probably should have, because I was trying to get every single one of the director.
Yeah.
Like I said, my director's instructions were eight team attacks. That was a lot. That was what didn't take that long.
No,
Yeah, that's
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a lot faster than hit 12 times with
one
10,
character.
because he ends up summoning new bosses like every 4 rounds or so, and it can get really overwhelming if you don't take them down fast enough.
One of the ones that I had a lot of trouble with was a director command to hit like a boss 3 times with your lead, but in 2 times it took down the boss.
Yeah, it's possible
So,
to be
like-
too strong.
Yeah. I also enjoyed the couple of episodes throughout the game where you ended up having only 1 or 2 of your team for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah. Like, that happens in season 3 when your lead is like, oh no, I ripped my shirt. And it's like, well, maybe if you stop doing all those stupid, like, power moves.
Those
And
extreme
then-
poses.
And I was so happy with the team I was left because it was tech, support, and assault. And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, this team can handle whatever.
Those are the ones I really need. So, yeah, one episode I ended up, it was just the support versus the Tengu clan, and like one of the director instructions
That was just
win
your support.
I'm sorry, not support, scout,
Oh,
just the
okay.
scout
I
versus
was
the
like, oh,
Tengu
is that
clan,
different?
and
I
one of the
ruined
director
that.
instructions was win in 8 rounds.
Ugh.
It's like it took 3.
Yeah, I ruined that mission with my scout. I did have to transform though because of their stupid attacks.
Yeah.
I was about to say, like, I guess my scout does a lot of damage thanks to lightning knife.
Okay, so that's a question I have. Was there a reason to not chromatize?
Yes.
Yes and no.
Because-
You are much more powerful when transformed.
And
But
have
the act
access
of
to all your skills.
transforming gathers your party, fully heals them, and removes all status effects.
Yup.
hmm
Well, no, I mean, like, is there a reason not to?
No.
Not
If-
really.
There's
Unless
not a
there's
reason.
a director's instructions saying otherwise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mostly it's just to hold it in case you need it for the aforementioned gather your party, heal, etc.
That said, you can only chromatize after so much of your audience is invested.
Yeah.
Which you might make immediately depending on your marketing strategy.
I honestly never ever noticed that. It was always so fast.
Yeah.
There was a fight where I was like, I went a couple of rounds where I couldn't not chromatize, awaken.
Yeah, I never had a problem with Senpai noticing me.
Like, I ended up doing it just because I didn't like looking at my team without their cool uniforms, which is probably the wrong reason to do it.
I mean, mostly you don't have access to all your skills and your weapons until you've chromatized.
Yeah.
It was basically the let's stop looking stupid attack.
But I mean, it's very much in line with the Sentai tropes. I kind of want to. This game actually kind of makes me want to watch like some Sentai shows that aren't Power Rangers.
Right? Yeah.
Because like I feel like the concept of a Sentai show is actually really interesting, but like I don't know how far off Power Rangers are from what an actual Sentai show is.
Well, the combat portion in costume is 100% a Sentai show.
Yeah, but like,
the rest
is
not
there
so much.
a out of costume segment, and what is that like in most Sentai shows?
You should watch Zyuranger then, which is the Sentai show that they pulled the combat footage from for Power Rangers, because it is a very different show. It is a show about royalty from dinosaur times who are defending children from an evil witch who wants to sacrifice them all to Great Satan.
Okay, so not actually that different?
Royalty from dinosaur times is different from Teenagers with Attitude.
There was still a witch who wants to sacrifice everyone.
Well, yeah, because that's part of the Japanese footage.
I thought Power Rangers was awesome.
I thought Power Rangers was also awesome.
Yep.
Yes, either way, there is an evil witch on the moon who was trapped in a space dumpster for eons. You're not getting away from that.
Got it.
Yeah, like I really think the age thing makes all the difference in the world.
Yeah,
because like I was in high school, I thought Power Rangers was the dumbest thing ever, and I couldn't understand why my cousin was into it. Because it was like the crappiest thing ever, and the toys were horrible too. Like the toys were jointed weirdly, and yeah, like I had problems with Power Rangers.
Yeah, I mean, like
They were like crappy Macross toys.
Why you gotta be a hater?
It just seemed so off. Like, I don't know. I mean, I'm pretty much the same age as Thalen. And so it's going to be sort of just about borderline, where Power Rangers was huge, but I just was not into it.
I think that's what I really like about Chroma Squad, is that it hits the notes of I'm legitimately really into Power Rangers, and it also hits the notes of Power Rangers is kind of silly and cheesy. It managed to hit both really, really nicely.
Yeah, like I don't know, when Power Rangers were out, I was kind of hipster about it, because I was like, this was better when it was Voltron.
Well, yeah. I was not into Power Rangers at all when it was on the air back in the day. Like my interest in it is all, looking at it now and just seeing the absurdity of it.
It was pretty absurd. I remember going to see the movies in the theater.
I had to take my little cousin to go see the Power Rangers movie, and that was a thing.
I went voluntarily. That was not a good movie.
The Power Rangers movie?
No.
Speaking of whom, who's going to play Zordon in the new Power Rangers movie, right?
Bryan Cranston.
What? Oh my god.
What?
Bryan Cranston is Zordon.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm actually legitimately excited about this Power Rangers movie.
That's brilliant.
He's gonna get the kids to pass out blue meth.
Yeah. If anybody is appropriate to play a giant head in a tube who gives power to teenagers, is Bryan Cranston.
I have no idea what to expect from this upcoming Power Rangers movie, but I also think it doesn't matter.
No,
it doesn't at all.
Almost anything they do is going to be hilarious.
So I would say I'm not a huge. I have some nostalgia for Power Rangers, but I'm not a huge fan of it. But like the story of this game is actually kind of interesting. It's goofy and offbeat and has a lot of tropes going on with it, but like there's still a really interesting thing going on and a couple of interesting devices that are worth playing this game on its own for. And it also has really good combat.
Yeah.
Like, the actual act of fighting in this game and, like, solving the puzzles that is the combat you have is interesting and fun. if a
Yeah, I really
little
like that.
micromanagey between fights.
I did really like the fights themselves, including the mecha fights eventually. At first, I wasn't quite sure what to make of them.
Yeah, same boat.
So who made this game?
It's pretty sure it was a Kickstarter. I mean,
Yeah.
I have only the game itself suggesting that to me, but it suggests it pretty hard.
Yeah.
So this game,
It was a Kickstarter game. I remember when it was on Kickstarter.
but
They've made it's the same people who made Knights of Pen and Paper, right?
Yes. Yeah, it's Behold Studios. They've made this and Knights of Pen and Paper, and then they made apparently a physics app that's kind of a reverse Angry Birds.
Oh, that's why the narrator suggested that I play
Check out Knights of Pen and Paper. Yeah.
When you stay too long in the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
I stayed until he gave up. It was really funny.
So the beaver that you can hire as one of your actors and the television boss are both from the app that they made.
That explains the hidden achievement, I guess.
And there are 2 hidden achievements related to them.
I got an achievement when I hit the television guy with my lead and had no idea why.
Yep.
Oh? What is that one?
I thought we were friends, I think.
Yeah.
So the app was called Save My Telly, and you're like trying to protect a beaver's television from the elements with various like pieces of wood and stone and things apparently. So there's an app for having the beaver in your party and punching the telly, and one for having the beaver in your party and not attacking the telly with the beaver.
Got it. That would explain why I did not get any achievements related to the television. Clearly, next time I play it, I'll have to use the beaver.
If I remember correctly, that fight has the condition of I think you need to hit it every turn with your lead. So I was going to get one or the other.
So I'm curious, if you have a beaver, does it still look like a human when it transforms?
Yep.
Okay, just checking.
Wow. Sort of unrelated. I just looked up the movie poster for the Power Rangers movie, and that's actually a really awesome poster.
The one with the helmets?
No, the Together We Are More.
Maybe nothing of the... Yep.
Is it the one with 4 of them standing on a car? And
yeah, it's like 4 of them standing on a car, and then like a lightning bolt in stars, and then just Together We Are More. Like, if you're gonna do a team superpower show, like that's a great.
It's not the poster I remember seeing.
I haven't seen any other posters. Tell me Google image search.
Sadly, Google image search mostly gives you posters from the old Power Rangers movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be super weird. That's gonna be a super weird movie, and I'm really looking forward to it.
I don't know. I saw that poster and I was like, why doesn't the 5th guy get to stand on the car?
It's not a very big car.
Maybe they should get a bigger car.
I mean,
Yeah.
It's probably his car.
He's standing on the side like, guys, I told you not to stand on the car. I just washed it.
My insurance rates.
I'm actually curious, like, I would be curious to see how the production of some of these old shows went. I bet those were some goofy sets.
Yes.
Like, I've heard tale of, like, how Chroma productions go. I bet the old Sentai sets were really goofy things.
Well, I mean, they're still making them.
Yeah.
And I bet they're still probably pretty goofy.
Rubber costumes aplenty.
Yep.
Just some computer animation to make them look a little better now.
Mm-hmm.
So, Tam.
What's up?
What are we playing next month?
So, next month, Cities Skylines, which is mostly because I haven't played a city builder in a really long time, and I've heard a lot of really, really good things about it. Also, it and all of its DLC was on the Steam sale, so I picked it all up.
So basically, what I know about this game makes me think it's basically like SimCity, but a little blue bird tells me what to do.
So I have played the game, not a whole bunch, but it is really the best SimCity game to come out in a couple decades. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And it's not a SimCity game.
I was going to say we haven't had a good SimCity in a couple of quite a while. So
it's probably the best SimCity game since like SimCity 2000.
Yeah,
nice.
That's the last one that I played, and
yep.
Yeah,
look forward to I'm looking forward to it.
But it goes to like granular levels that the SimCity games never really went to, and it's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot that the two DLCs, also on sale, are After Dark and Snowfall, and as far as I can tell, that adds more weather and day-night cycles.
So the really cool thing, and what will be kind of interesting for us to explore, is Steam Workshop is supported 100% with this game, and there's all kinds of weird fan add-ons to it.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Oh, wow, here we are.
Look at the Steam Workshop. There's all kinds. Supposedly, there's a co-op add-on that adds co-op play to it.
There are 86,000 items in Steam Workshop for this game.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Okay. Now I need to, because if I can play this game co-op,
Yeah, I read just a blurb this afternoon, and I don't know what it entails, but there is some way to play it co-op.
Huh.
And hopefully in the next month we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I'd absolutely prefer to play this co-op.
Maybe not.
I don't know. I tend to, I definitely had more fun with, what was that game?
Stellaris?
Stellaris co-op.
That's about the big patch. Maybe get back to that soon.
Well, we know what our next month's game is. Any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
I think this has been one of our better choices.
Yeah. I really, really liked this game.
It was definitely enjoyable.
Like, this game is for me a serious Game of the Year contender. We'll see what happens in the rest of this year. Or look, I played it this year.
Yeah, it's when we played it, remember?
Yeah, it's when we played it.
Yeah, this is really fun.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun. It is, I mean, it's one of the best tactics-like games that I've played. And I've played quite a few of them.
Probably the best one I've played that didn't have Final Fantasy in the title.
I was just thinking that. I mean, maybe Shadowrun, but Shadowrun is a sort of different thing.
Think of that as a different thing, yeah.
Yeah. I think of that as like a descendant of the old SSI D&D games.
Well, I will definitely be curious to hear if anyone played along with us and what their thoughts are.
Or if anybody listens to this and decides they want to play it.
Yes.
Yep.
Either way.
Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the show and you enjoyed Chroma Squad. And join us again next month as we talk City Skylines. We'll see you next week. Good night.
Bye.
Good night.
See you.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, hopefully this goes well.
Stuff and things and also some stuff and whoa.
I'm gonna talk and then
things and the stuff about the things.
I'm gonna be quiet and leave my mic open and make sure you can't hear a fan.
Just sounds like white noise to me.
Yep.
Yay.
Okay.
Hey, sorry about that.
Oh yeah, testing.
Sibilance.
What's sibilance mean?
I don't know, but it's one of the words people say to test mics.
What?
What?
Sibilant? Oh my god.
Sibilance.
Okay.
Sibilance.
Sibilance is the sound you make when you're saying S's or soft C's. It is that outrushing of air through your lips and teeth. And the reason that it's used for sound checks is because frequently, while a lot of other sounds are more round in your mouth and come out, aren't a straight outrush of air, some mics will catch sibilance and they'll sound weird.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm stopping this.
Doo-doo-doo.